Well, Happy New Year, Parkview Baptist Church. It is now officially 2022, and here we are off and running in a brand new calendar year, and I hope it's going to be a great one. Obviously, when a new year turns over, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of hope, a lot of expectation, and based on the last couple of years that our entire culture and our entire world has experienced, I know there's always hope for a better day ahead. Jesus in John chapter 16 and verse 33 gives us really about the only two assurances we can have for any day, any new year, and for any of our future. And that is, number one, in this world you will have trouble. That's exactly what Jesus tells us in John 16:33. But then he gives us this great promise, and that is this. He says, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And so regardless of the challenges that await us, regardless of the troubles that may be out there around the next corner, we know that we are already conquerors in him because he has overcome the world, and so we can rest in that. But we are looking forward to a lot of blessing and a lot of good time together, hopefully in our families and in our church, and so hope you're looking forward to a great 2022. Let me share with you very briefly here. I only want to take a moment. I want to outline some things for you over the next couple of Sundays in the month of January so you'll know what's coming. I'm only going to go through this once and then you'll hear more about it later. Tomorrow, January the 2nd, we are going to begin a brand new message series that I am in the process of still working on and creating. I have not created all these messages, probably go about 6 Sundays or so. I'm not even sure how long it'll go. But right now, the title that I've given this series is What Moves the Heart of God? I think it's a great question. And of all the themes that we could begin a new year off with, I believe this is one of the best ones we could tackle. And that is, what is it that moves the heart of God? Real quickly, the big hint for you on what the series is about is it's about faith. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6 says that without faith, it's impossible to please God. So right there, we already know what is it that moves the heart of God? It is a life that is lived by faith. And so that's what we're going to look at over the next several weeks. I hope you'll come and be a part of these messages. If you cannot be a part, I hope that you'll either be able to tune in on live stream, but if you can't even get it on live stream, you can always go back and watch the recorded messages on our YouTube account. So in any way, I hope that you'll be able to keep up with us in that series. Now, tomorrow night, January 2nd, I'm going to ask you as a church to come back here at 6 o'clock. And I just want us to begin the year off in the sanctuary together as the body of Christ. So we're going to do a couple things. We're not going to leave the morning message yet. We're going to kind of treat it almost like a discipleship group. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk with you a little bit more about the message itself, maybe even ask some questions, kind of like we would in our D groups. But then also I would love to hear some thoughts of yours, testimonies, and insights that you have as we look forward into a new year, because it is important for the entire church to come together still from time to time and hear the hearts of men and women like yourselves. And so some testimonies in that regard is going to be a lot of fun, I hope. And also we're going to pray together. And don't know how long we'll be together tomorrow night, but it'll be a good time. Now let's fast forward to the next Sunday. On the 9th, we'll continue the series, of course. But then that afternoon and that evening, here's what I have in mind for many of you, okay? Number one, if you're a part of the church council, that means if you're a leader of a ministry team or committee, then we're going to ask you to join together and meet together. I'll finalize this with everybody because you'll get an invite from me and from the church about 4 or maybe 4:30 on next Sunday afternoon, the 9th. Okay, there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, we want to begin to re-engage our ministries and our calendar in a way that that we're all in one accord. We all kind of know what's going on, and we see these calendars together, and we know how we're going to operate as a team moving forward in 2022. Also, another reason for us to talk on next Sunday afternoon, the 9th, is that the next week we're going to have a business meeting, and I want to talk to you about your reports, how I'd love to continue to hear what God is doing in each committee and each team and ministry. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. But we're only going to spend about an hour together, so that's why I'm thinking it's probably going to be 4:30 to about 5:30 to begin that calendar planning, business meeting planning with our team leaders, committee chairmen and chairpersons. And so that'll be at 4:30. Then at 6 o'clock, we're going to divide into two different groups at the church. The main group will be here again, all right? And I'm going to provide for you leadership through somebody, all right, to reflect much like our discipleship group time. And so that evening, the main group will be here in the sanctuary. And then where I will be is I'm going to be across the parking lot with two groups of people, our current discipleship group leaders and our prayer partners. Now, I'm going to be with them on purpose because I'm going to be talking with them a lot about what's coming up in our discipleship groups. I have some special plans that I want to accomplish through our D leaders, and our prayer partners are going to be such a part of that, as they are that engine of prayer, because those are our two tracks, if you remember, that I want us to go on, and that is discipleship and prayer. And so those two groups are going to be with me. I have some things planned for them, as I want to just encourage them and empower them with some things, and also put some things in front of them that we're going to work on as a church together through our discipleship groups in the nights ahead. So for the first two Sunday nights here at Parkview, we are going to be here, okay, all together tomorrow night, and then in two different places at the church the next Sunday night on the 9th. So fast forward one more week to the week of the 16th. On that Sunday evening, we're going to have our church-wide quarterly business meeting. We always have a quarterly business meeting now in January, so that we can begin the year off by looking and knowing what the last year financials look like, and then all of a sudden also hear the reports from our committee leaders of what happened in ministry in the last year as we look forward to the year 2022. So for the first three Sunday nights, we're going to be together as a church here at Parkview and not in our D groups. However, the next Sunday, which is the 23rd, that is where we're going to relaunch and re-engage all of our discipleship groups. They may be kind of retooled in some ways, maybe some new homes, maybe a couple of new leaders, maybe some changing and morphing together of what used to be different groups coming together in other places. And that's where what I will have done with our discipleship leaders on the 9th will begin to show in our groups. And I'm looking forward to all of that, but that'll just take too long for me to tell you about right now. So I'm looking forward to January. It's here. The new year is here, but beginning tomorrow on these next Sunday nights, the 2nd, 9th, 16th, are all going to be here at the church. And then the 23rd is where we're going to relaunch out into all of our D groups in all of our different homes, as well as the sanctuary, with all those different events being a part of what we're doing in the evenings. Now, if any of that does not make sense, or if I was not clear, or as clear as I hoped to have been, please don't hesitate to ask me any questions. You will hear more about it in the days ahead, especially, again, if you're a part of the church council. You will get invites. D leaders and prayer partners, you're going to also hear from me as well this week to know where I want you to be and hope you'll be, because I realize, too, that at the beginning of a new year, some of that might change. Some of you might be saying, hey, Mike, I need to take a break from this, or I'm ready to engage in that. And so you be praying about all that, especially to my D leaders and my prayer partners. And we will deal with that as the Lord reveals himself to us in that time. So one more time, Happy New Year. Looking forward to 2022. Hope y'all have an amazing day today. Looking forward to being with everybody tomorrow. Sunday school starts at 9 o'clock. Worship at 10:15. And looking forward to beginning this new series about what moves the heart of God. And I hope you'll be a part of that. And as the Lord challenges us to be people who live by faith, I look forward to what that's going to mean for us at Parkview in this next year. God bless you. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.